Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notifications when I upload new videos. So what's up? Last night, we had several conversations that I want to kind of dive into, one or two of them today. So come on in. Come on in. Let's talk about it. How are you today? How are you feeling today? Let's talk about whatever it is we need to discuss today. Focus is going to be love and trauma bonding. Why? Because one of our own last night was talking about kind of like a trauma-based response to love. And I want to dive into that. So hopefully they'll tune in tonight and hopefully we'll be able to break that up a little bit, dissect that whole thing, the whole conversation, etc. And get that out the way. So let's go ahead while I'm waiting for you guys to kind of tap in, tune in. King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. We're gonna go ahead and look it up online. Let's search trauma bond. Let's define it. Trauma bonding is a term used to describe the emotional connection that can form between an abuser and a victim in an abusive relationship. Now we have to remember that abuse in relationships don't have to end at physical abuse, okay? It can be mental, emotional, financial, all that good stuff, okay? It can also occur in other situations such as human trafficking or cults, where there are patterns of abuse, rewards, and punishment. So, some signs of trauma bonding include feeling loyal to an abuser, even though the bond is harmful, obsessing over people who have hurt you, continuing to seek contact with people who cause you pain, going overboard to help people who have been destructive, trusting people who have proven to be unreliable, being unable to leave unhealthy relationships. Now, if I'm being clear with you, I think to some degree, many of us have maybe experienced these types of things, okay? It could be because it's normalized. It could be because it's what we see. It's something that we are experiencing as we grow up. We watch our parents go through various things or whatever. Sometimes parents are abusive, and so therefore you become like attached to that type of energy. So I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it tonight because, we have one of our friends in the comments yesterday who was kind of expressing this. And I was like, I don't know, is that trauma bonding? But it kind of, based on the definition, it is. So let's go a little bit further. Trauma bonding can be difficult to break and can lead to feelings of shame and loss of self. To separate from a trauma bond, it can be helpful to learn to love, accept yourself, and not wait for others to do so. Working with a therapist can also help. So another way to define trauma bonding could be considered Stockholm Syndrome, okay? Stockholm Syndrome is considered an extreme form of trauma bonding. It refers to the phenomenon where hostages become attached to their captors. Now, I can tell you, quiet has kept the Black community been in Stockholm Syndrome for quite a while. Don't get mad at the messenger, motherfuckers. Don't be mad at the messengers, goddammit. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay? Hands up, don't shoot. Okay, goddammit? This is just the reality, though, that we have to look at. So, what y'all thinking? Let's look further into Stockholm Syndrome. So Stockholm Syndrome is described as a psychological condition of a victim who identifies with and empathizes with the captor or the abuser and their goals. It says Stockholm Syndrome is rare. I don't agree with that. According to one FBI study, the condition occurs in about 8% of hostage victims. Well, the Black community has been in Stockholm Syndrome for quite a while. Yes. All right, we're starting on Wednesday. We got a start date, okay? Aquarius Midwest. Woo, woo, woo. Congratulations. Let's take a shot. All right. I told you, don't worry. You was over there bugging, wasn't you? You was like, they ain't called me. I'm like, girl, you got to hold on. The school system, they take time, you know? No, this is not my real hair. I don't dye my hair. I wonder if I should though, because like recently, let me tell you, recently I had took my hair out of my braids for just a little bit, like 2 days. And my curls were so pretty. I was like, oh my God, like, should I do something with this?
Mom, you should definitely dye your hair.
You want me to dye my hair? Mm-hmm. What color?
Pink.
Pink?
Yeah.
My man.
Or pink.
Give me dap.
Dab. Dab.
I don't know. I've been thinking about it, but no, I don't dye my own hair. And right now, I'm trying to like, I don't know. I think I'm trying to like keep my hair braided up for a little bit because I want to like, I'm gonna start doing this. I want to do another hair growth challenge. So if you follow my beauty channel, I haven't been on there in such a long time. I know. But I'm gonna get back on there soon. Yeah, for sure. So she starts on Wednesday. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, and I had a conversation with Shaylee too, and she was about to be on my head. She was like, "Excuse me," I was like, "Girl, I thought somebody's impersonating your channel." Like Loki, the other day I saw her name, and I was like, "Okay, Shaylee's supposed to have blue on her name." You know what I mean? So I was like, "Somebody's impersonating her damn channel. Like, what is going on?" And I was watching the video, like, and she just texted me like not too long ago. I was watching the video from last night, and we were in that part where I was watching. We were talking about like what happened with Shaylee. I was like, I don't know, like, can you remove yourself, or did somebody try to like steal your channel or something? Man, and it's funny because I'm also on the flip side with Facebook. I'm dealing with this whole situation where I'm no longer an admin for my business page, and I need my business page right now because I have to start like putting ads out to prepare for my first gov contract, right? I haven't got one yet, but I've got so many opportunities that I've been looking at. And so I'm going to need to like hire, like I'm going to need to hire a lot of people in a very short period of time, like so quick, right?
You hire me, I need money.
You need money? Okay. So Shaylee's one of the people, but I need other people who got like, you know, like web design and graphics designers and other stuff, you know, with advertising and stuff like that. But she called me, or she sent me a text and was like, "Excuse me, okay, because I know I ain't did shit." I was like, girl, I would not just delete you for no reason. Like, I would not do that. It would have to be something real serious, you know? Like, come on. You got to know me better than that. So I'm waiting for her to come back in so I can make her a moderator again. Anyway, we were talking about trauma bonding, and Gino wanted to ask me a question, so I kind of got a little bit distracted. But he mentioned spiritual abuse. And he brings up a strong point, you know, that I have to add in here. So the type of abuse that you can experience It used to heal my inner child. Wait, what? What you talking about? Anyway, he said spiritual abuse, and I'm like, like that's a good point. You bring up a good point, because like if somebody's using magic on you to basically keep you in bondage with them, could that be considered a form of trauma bonding? So we'll have to explore that a little bit too as well. So what you talking about, Crazy Babe Bus, with this last comment here? All right, Keith, get on. Incorporated Laughter says, shouldn't everyone in the community be concerned about that? Concerned about what? We want to clarify me there. So why does Africa still practice slavery? Ooh, I didn't know that. Well, the world practices slavery. If we look at the prison system is slavery, is modern day slavery. So we have to look at the whole system of slavery, and not just in one capacity. We have to look at it as a whole. Sex trafficking, that's a form of slavery as well. So yeah, we got to look at all that. So when you're talking about your homeland, my homeland is here in America. So I don't know what you're talking about. Not to mention that there were natives here in America before it was colonized. I was here before. So you know what I'm saying? Like when you talk about your home, my home is here. This is where I'm from. This is where I, was birthed in earth. And so I don't really understand that whole concept of somebody trying to tell me that my homeland is somewhere that it's not. Not to say that I may not have ancestry from Africa, but my home is here. So what are we talking about in that regard? And there were natives here in the Americas before colonization, and there were natives, and they were very crafty, and they were very strategic about how they covered up who the actual natives were. So that's something also to consider. So, yeah, if you're coming up in here and you want to be trolling, that's not what we're doing. Naomi from WWE, I don't know who that is. We're not voting for Trump, okay? We're not voting for Trump, but thanks. I ain't voting for nobody, honestly. Whoever gets voted in, that's fine. Just tell me how much the taxes are.
As long as they lower the taxes, we good. And groceries.
So, anyway, we were talking about trauma bonding, and we wanted to go into looking, well, I don't know who Naomi is. I don't know who that is. Let's look it up. Yeah, not agreeing either. We don't agree. You're right. You're right, Ryan. We don't agree. So, okay. So anyway, the Stockholm Syndrome, I think this is something that we have to consider because, people who were imprisoned and then forced to do labor, there's a sense of Stockholm Syndrome with those groups. So that is something to also consider as well. Now, we were going to talk about trauma bonding because one of our friends was here last night talking about kind of having this thing about being in love with people that they hate or something. And I was like, what is that about? Like, what does that mean? Number one. But number two, somebody also in the comments said that was trauma bonding, a form of trauma bonding. So I kind of wanted to dive into that to find out what you guys think as a collective. Let's get a collective understanding of what this is and whether or not we're going to continue to agree with these forms of, I guess, mental issue to determine whether or not this is something that we can work through and heal, which I think we can. I think we can work through and heal just about anything. So let's go back to the title of trauma bonding. Now, feeling loyal to an abuser, even though the bond is harmful. I can say that I've seen this type of experience. It's like when you love someone and they've caused you hurt or caused you pain. What does that mean? Does that mean that you have to leave them? You should leave them? Or does that mean that obviously this person has some things to work through and I support them in the efforts that they have to work through whatever it is that they have to work through? Where's the line of demarcation with those types of things? You know, where's the line of demarcation between, you know, what we are looking at, which is trauma bonding, or I just love you and I want you to be okay, and I believe that by us being together, you'll find healing in that. I don't know. Hey, listen, all I'm doing is just throwing out the thoughts, and then we can consider, we can think about it, we can adjust, you know, stuff like that. Hey, Iron Mike, how are we? So let's take a look, okay? Because interestingly enough, one of our commenters did say that they have like a love thing with people that they hate. So, it's like you can't feel love unless you hate the person, or is that healthy? Not only because our commenter also said that they don't like hurting people, they just like being hurt by the person that they love, and that's an interesting way to be and feel. Because what if somebody genuinely doesn't want to hurt you, but they love you? So how can you then say that you don't want to hurt a person, but you wanting to be hurt by them and noticing that they're not hurting you, and then you leaving them? That causes pain, doesn't it? So we got to consider. Before we get into that, because I really would like to see that person come back into the comments, because I don't want to talk about their life without, you know, them being present. So let's talk about the feelings of being loyal to people who hurt you. Rashida, for example. It's just recently been published that Rashida Clark, whatever his name is, Kirk is his name, that he's recently, again, he has impregnated another woman and has another outside baby. And we already know that Kirk has previously had an outside baby, and he's previously cheated on Rashida many times, and Rashida continues to be with him. Is that just simply somebody deciding that I love you, you're my partner, and I accept you with all of your flaws, or is that a trauma bond? So when we look at these terms, such as trauma bond, Stockholm syndrome, or, you know, any of these terms that we're using now in the mental and spiritual community, we have to determine and assess so many levels and layers of what this stuff breaks down to actually mean and be. Another thing is there are different types of relationships and connections. There are monogamous relationships. There are ethical non-monogamous relationships. There are polyamorous, polygamous relationship types and structures. So as a society, I think overall, we have to learn better how not to be up in other people's business, number one, and placing our judgments upon other people's business. However, sometimes other people's business comes out, and then it's on a stage for us to make our own judgments about those things. But I think we should be careful about how we throw certain judgments around, because then some of those judgments keeps us perpetually in a box. And I'm literally looking at a box right now in front of me, over there on that thing. Are some of the ways that we are viewing things and viewing life keeping us perpetually in a closed state, in a state in which we can't expand, in a state in which we can't evolve to be who and what we really are? So we have to discover whether or not, as it relates to the whole cheating concept with, you know, Kirk and Rashida, is she being abused in the relationship, or has she decided to love her partner knowing that his flaw is he's a cheater? And if it's okay for her, how and who are we, and why are we placing some sort of concept or judgment or ideologies upon her if she has not accepted or received those types of concepts for herself? So we'll discuss. So into deep. Can't think about giving it up because I never love could hurt this bad. Worst pain that I ever had. I don't know what that means, Red Furnace. What are we talking about? But it's still something to consider. Are those lyrics? It is something to consider. What does love actually mean? What is love? So let's define love. According to AI. Oh, it's Trey Songz? Okay. According to AI on Google, love is a complex emotion and set of behaviors that can be characterized by a range of feelings, including affection, commitment, intimacy, passion. Now, we know that based upon humanities, right? They talk about the two types of love considered by the Greek. Eros and what was the other one? Hold on. Let's Greek concepts of love. Philos and Eros, is that what it is? Eros, oh, they got more than that. Agape, unconditional love rather than lust, friendship, or affection. And then Eros is romantic, passionate love, often characterized by strong physical and emotional connections. Eros is associated with the ancient Greek god of passion and desire. So we also have additional concepts of love that I did not look into in school. So it says philia is a soul connection that is often considered to be love between friends and family, but can also be important in romantic relationships. Philanthropia is self-love, which can be both a positive and a negative feeling. It can be self-passionate, but can also be self-obsessed. Pragma, which is practical love based on duty, obligation, or logic. It can be seen in relationships when practicality takes precedence over romance and sex. So you would see that in a situation where you see two people who are together and they stay together due to duty and obligation. Maybe they don't even particularly love each other. Maybe they just have a contract that, we've decided that we're committed together. We've seen that low-key exhibited with Will and Jada. Not to say that they didn't love each other, but just to say that they had also, their commitment to their obligation and duties to one another was stronger than whatever it was that they were going through. And I'm saying, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that they don't love each other and that they're not in love with each other. But what I'm saying is that at some point in their relationship, there was a change, right? I'm assuming the change happened when he was kind of cheating and doing his little thing, right? And she just kind of realized that I still love you, like I still care about you, and I want to still make sure that we have this union, this unity, this family that we have. But you could fuck off half the time, like you know what I mean? Like you can still fuck off. Like honestly, I love you and all that. We in this bitch till we die. Like, but also, I'm about to be over here doing my thing over this way, and you can do your thing over that way, and that's cool. So we do see various different types of relationship structures. We do see different types of ways in which people commit to one another, and regardless to whether or not they're feeling romantic love, intense romantic love, they may find duty to one another. They may have a sense of obligation to one another and continue to stay together for that purpose or for that reason. So that's something to consider. Ludo says playful love, such as flirting or teasing in the early stages of a relationship. Yeah, I don't think we need to go into all of those various different types in that regard. But the two that I was focused on was agape and eros, which is one is a love for your brotherly, like a brotherly love, and the other is a romantic love. Okay, so when it comes to those two types of love and trauma bonding, because I was on trauma bonding, how the fuck did I get over here? Okay, we're talking about love, Rashida and Kirk. Rashida and Kirk's relationship to the outside world looks like an abusive relationship where he constantly is cheating on her and hurting her and causing her pain, right? That's how we see it on the outside. And she just keeps dealing with it. So to the outside world, it looks like a trauma bond, but we don't know whether or not she has taken the form of, hold on, what is that, agape, or like, what did they say? Pragma, which is the duty and obligation or logic. Maybe duty, obligation calls them to stay together, and that's what she's okay with. She's okay with accepting that and being in that type of situation. We all have a different concept of what we want our love to look and feel like. And sometimes we have this idea that it has to be romantic. It has to be, super love and involved. Whereas sometimes for some people, that's just not practical. May not be practical for financial reasons. Maybe they have invested, many interests to keep their wealth in a certain place. And so some people marry to maintain wealth. You will see that with situations where you see, for instance, families of royalty do that, where they marry someone who is another royal so that they can continue to build strong empires. You'll see that in situations like Jay-Z and Beyonce when they got married. Not to say that they didn't love each other, but it was definitely, as you can see, their relationship has gone down the road. You can see that some of that was a sense of duty. Some of that was a sense of obligation to keep our wealth. And building wealth, sometimes love is not Romeo and Juliet. Sometimes it's I own this land over here and I own these businesses over here. And if we bring that land and those businesses together, we are unstoppable financially. And so we have to look at those as being a possible reason why people stay in relationships. And it could not be trauma bonding, right? Now, there are situations where trauma bonding is just a fact. Like, that's a fact. Like, girl, he beating your ass every week and you still with him. That's Stockholm syndrome. That's trauma bonding, whatever the case. Or, dude, she's she's doing all this shit to you. She's doing all the worst shit to you. You just still there. But again, that could bring in the pragmatic side of love as well. The obligation, sometimes people feel bonded and obligated to people. So let's go back. What if your wife has a girlfriend? Should she still stay if she pay rent? I don't know how to, you're gonna have to rephrase that question if you don't mind me saying. Hey, can I ask a question about my girl's mindset? Sure. What's your question? So then, Sausage Flop, the name is, okay, moving forward. And what if they both yell at me all the time and make me clean the house? I'm sorry. Let's talk more about that. What is your question in relation to? Like, is this about the trauma bond, or is this about you trying to determine whether or not you should stay with your girlfriend who has a girlfriend? Josie says a business deal. Yes. So some connections, some relationships literally are a business deal. And as the common folk usually don't know stuff like that because we've been taught Disney shit, like, oh, you get married for love and romantic love and that's it. But in reality, many wealthy families don't get married for love. They get married for contract. Okay. They get married for the benefit of marrying my family with this family. We marry these two families together, we can be unstoppable. We have more grounds to cover. We got we have more resources. We have more power. Okay. So wait a minute. You said you got your girlfriend got a girlfriend and your girlfriend live with y'all? And they telling you to clean up the house now? What's up, Dollface? Thanks. Thank you. So yeah, trying to figure out what I should do. Well, how do you feel? I mean, your girlfriend has a girlfriend, but it happened, and your girlfriend's girlfriend now lives with you. It happened because you allowed it to happen. So what is the actual question here? So New Chapter says, hi, what does the future hold for me and Izzy? His family is an issue in our relationship. All right, let's find out. All right, let's see. There's so much to unpack here. You're gonna have to wait till after I finish this reading, okay? All right, new chapter. So to answer and respond to your question, we do have the Magician, we have the Four of Pentacles, we have the Three of Wands, we have the Moon card, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Emperor card. I don't know if this is applying, but I'm just going to say it because I'm looking at it. Bottom of the deck, I do see the Emperor. Under the Emperor, we got the Five of Cups and the Ten of Swords. So I don't know if somebody is trying to overcome betrayal or disappointment or hurt, but that's kind of, you know, hovering over the energy here. The Magician, next to the Four of Pentacles, next to the Three of Wands. So somebody's in this energy of like holding back and waiting. So this could be two different energies. It could be both of you guys. One of you guys is waiting. One of you guys is holding back and reserving energy. Or it could be one of you guys doing that. With the Moon card here, it does look like, so that Ten of Swords could be about a third party energy. Oh, the third party energy is the family, right? You said that. Let me go back. So the family is the issue in the relationship. So the third party energy could be the family. The Knight of Pentacles is here with the Queen of Swords. So, I feel like this is more so like the actual energy of what's going on. Maybe it's you that's like holding back how you feel about whatever's going on. Maybe you're not fully expressing what's going on. But it's like you might potentially be planning to cut this person off. So Spirit, what's the future though? King of Swords, you know, obviously you are going to have to think about this logically and in a way that, you know, first off, deciding how you feel about the connection, about the person. Is it salvageable? If you, like, let's just say you have to continue to deal with the family. This is the way they are. Nothing changes, right? Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with staying with this person and being with this person if nothing changes? Okay. The reason why I say that is this. I feel it's necessary for you to take a look at whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever your situation is, and determine if everything stays exactly like this, will I be able to continue on with this connection? Okay. That's necessary for you to have a level of acceptance, right? Let me look at your comments. I try to read and just kind of read what's here and not pay too much to the comments, but let me tap into you real quick. Hold on. Everybody else, you're going to have to wait until after I finish this reading. Okay, so, you know, the thing about relationships, and I will tell you from my own personal experience, you know, sometimes your person doesn't recognize that whatever is happening is causing you issue. And sometimes it's like they maybe understand that you have some sort of issue, but maybe it's like, oh, like you're just, you know, you're just tripping, you know? But you have to make your person aware that, no, I'm not just tripping. Somebody's overstepping boundaries, right? This is a boundary that we need to have. You and I are together. And if we are going to be together and we're going to have a family or whatever it is that you guys have set up, then there are certain boundaries that outside people need to abide by, right? That's just a fact of a relationship, right? And so it's up to your person to understand what your needs are and to understand whether or not he is going to make the change, right? That's just the facts, right? Like your person has to make the decision to make the change. I will tell you, going back to my own personal situations with Gino and family, his mom was just being very invasive and just like very trying to control our lives. And she didn't even live here. She lived in a whole nother state. It's like, what are you doing? Right? And it was like she was trying to be territorial for no reason. Like, listen, you don't have to be territorial. This is your son. He's always going to be a son. You're welcome here, but this is not your home. Okay. Like this is not your domicile. So you need to have a little respect that now I'm the woman of this house. And I understand that this is your son and whatever the circumstances at that time, I understood the circumstances, but you still can have a little bit more respect for these boundaries that I need to have and set for you right now. It wasn't until Gino got the understanding of what I needed okay, and what was going on, that something actually changed. And it took quite a while. It took years for him to, because he was basically like, you're tripping, like it's nothing, it's blah blah blah, right? But he just never addressed it. He just didn't address it until finally he had to address it. So once again, it's kind of up to your person to see and recognize and acknowledge what you're feeling and experiencing, and for them to make the change. It has to be on him, because you can go and have all sorts of arguments and fights and it's just going to look like you're the problem, right? But no, you're crossing boundaries. Okay? You're crossing boundaries. I have no problem with, you know, helping out when needed and stuff like that, but you cannot pretend that me and this man do not love each other and that we are not together. You know, that, and I'm sure that psalm is probably the one where when a man takes a wife, he takes a new home or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Something about, you know, he has his own family now, basically what that statement or that verse is saying is that when a man takes a wife, that becomes his home. And so anybody outside of that, you need to respect whatever boundaries are set here. Okay. So yeah, let's go forward. Let's take a look. You know, I think it, you know, it may take a little time, but I do think that you guys are going to find a way to work this thing out. You know, I do think that your person is going to find a way to find the balance within the connection. Sometimes the guy, it just feels like a lot of pressure, you know. Sometimes it's like, it just feels like a lot of pressure, and them making that change can be difficult. No, hold on. Gino! Yes, I did. So what do you think about this topic? Did you hear anything of it? So basically, she's going through experience where her boyfriend's family is kind of, you know, intervening in their connection and relationship. And I just told her that I feel like, you know, ultimately the guy is going to have to set those boundaries. No matter how much you try and you effort and you say these things, until he recognizes that it's causing a problem for you and him, it's not going to change.
From my experience, you have to approach it like you have to predict it. Watch when this happens. Why would you think this is happening? Why is it happening like that? For him to understand that, for it to make sense to him. Not that he don't understand, or maybe he just don't see it like that.
Right.
But if you're predicting it, be like, okay,
when I do this, then this is gonna happen.
This has happened to me and it's bothered me. I said it to you. So watch next time. If I do this and this is a response, remember I said this.
Mm-hmm. Did I do that?
We're not patting nobody on no shoulder right now.
So yes, I did it. What I want to know is, how did you feel during that time? Like, how did you feel that I was like noticing that your mom was kind of being a little bit more invasive than I felt she should have, and you were kind of like in the middle of this whole thing?
Well, the thing is that I understood, because
you know your mom.
I know my mom, so I'm like, yeah, she was invasive in my life. That's why I had weed and pillows. But what your boundaries is, because that's your mom, might not be acceptable to the person you love or your wife. And if it's causing her that much stress, then it's got to stop.
I get it, but how did you feel when I was explaining to you what I was feeling? Right. No, I meant like, okay, so like, did you feel pressured? Did you feel like you was caught in the middle? Did you feel like I was tripping? Did you feel like your mom was tripping? Like, how did you come to feeling when I was pointing these things out and you just wasn't seeing it or whatever? Like,
I would say, well, yeah. If the person that you with is unhappy, you feel some type of pressure. And like I said, some people will just take certain shit like that's just who they are. But no, that's not acceptable. It's not acceptable for everybody. That's not your mom. That's my mom. So it's
Right.
not just that. So yeah, I did feel pressure. I felt like, well, my wife feels like this, so I don't want her to feel like that. So what do I have to do?
Right. So what I was trying to say in the new chapter was that,
Okay.
you know, your boyfriend
Not
may
what you
feel
do for a living. Don't tell me your hobbies.
your boyfriend may feel some level of, you know, like pressure with this whole thing because this is his family. He's grown up with them. Now this new woman is coming in and trying to tell me I need to change some things up. You know what I
Are they
mean?
married?
They're not married. They're boyfriend and girlfriend right now. But it's still a thing though. Like if you feel like somebody is trying to invade the time that you guys have. For instance, if
Yeah, but
we're trying to spend personal time together, and every time we're trying to spend personal time together, now some family member from the outside is like, "Oh, I need you to do this," pulling you away from me.
No. That's it's gonna fuck up the connection and not build a bond. But when you sit down, the person that your person is offended with, it helps to be like, no, this is my wife. This ain't just some girl.
You have to set the boundary.
You do, but
It's different with girlfriend and wife.
Yeah, the girlfriend, it makes it easier for the man to be like, nah, this is my wife. Like, when you leave and she mad because you up here folding her panties, she don't want you to fold her panties.
No, your mom was making my white shit pink. I was like, I know you fucking lied. No, it was your mom. It was your mom. One time she put all my white clothes in there with like one red shirt or some shit like that. All my shit came out pink. I was like, oh no, this is just so bullshit. What the fuck? I was like, now you're doing that shit on purpose now. Now this is after we had many, like a couple of different situations. And my thing from that perspective was, first off, I'm going to say something here or there, or like, you know, I wasn't even saying nothing. What I would do is like, she would come in and just rearrange all the dishes and just simple. It was stupid shit, but at the same time, it was annoying. So what I would do is put the shit right back where the fuck I had it. This is where I had it. That's the way I like it. Cause when I'm in here cooking for your son every day, the way I grab, you know, I want to grab this way and get this thing right here. But if I got to turn and circle around, it's not as easy when I'm cooking and trying to stir shit at the same time and pour water in. I need to grab shit from right here. So, you know, she would come and do little stuff like that. And I know it sounds petty, but what I'm saying is, you know, like, come on, like, you stop doing that. Like, you're simple. So I would just, you know, I noticed it wasn't just that. It was a lot of different things that ended up happening. But I ended up talking to him and telling him, hey, look, this type of thing right here is happening. And I just would like for you to check that, right? Like, but I did not feel the need to address her because that's his mom, right? There's some things that you can address that mom for, like some things that can be addressed. Like, I don't really like that or whatever. Like, but for me, it was more like, look, this is your mom. Like, you need to kind of understand that this is irritating the fuck out of me. This is bothering me. So could you please handle that? Right. And the reason why is because of what he just said. It's his mom. He knows how to deal with her. He's been with her all his life. And she feels like she needs to come and set the laws with me. Right. Like she felt like she need to come and set the laws down with me. And I'm like, this is my house now. Like, now this is my house. So I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you ain't setting no laws with me. I'm going to be here. So you're going to have to straighten this up because I'm not dealing with that.
I would tell you the reaction from that is, so in our situation, when you stand on business, and mom, you're gonna act right, or you're not gonna have a chance to act
right.
And if your mom loves you, and she's like, my son ain't talked to me for 6 months, a year, 3 years, where the fuck it was. He's serious about this.
He was serious about it. And eventually she got her act together. You know, like she eventually realized, oh, well, now she's coming to me and asking, what do you want to do about this? Oh, thank you so much for asking. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for asking. Let's go ahead and discuss that. I'm not a difficult person to deal with, but when you're doing shit that's like unnecessarily fucking up my vibe and my flow for no fucking reason, that's when I get irritated.
Oh, shit.
Okay?
These are the...
So here's what I see in the cards. I see that you guys will work things out. However, I want you to be clear about it's more about you conveying to your partner how things are making you feel so that he can understand that there's something he needs to do.
But as a girlfriend, it's going to be difficult. I'm just being honest because the mom gonna always come back like, well, how's she different from the last one? Why am I? You know what I'm saying? You gotta.
Okay.
That's a trump card.
That's real shit. But at the same time,
I'm not trying to be
but
mean
even
about
then,
saying
like,
that,
but no, because even your mom was like, I'm his mom. You're just here. And I was like,
that was the
excuse
first,
me?
That was the first year of our marriage.
I don't give a fuck.
No, I get it. That was my mom being my mom.
I don't give a damn. I'm here, bitch. And not only was I here, but I was there. Me and you been talking for a long time. So maybe she wasn't like fully aware or cognizant of that.
She knew that because
but still, like,
the first time I wasn't talking to her.
That's when I was like, you know what?
I got some girl with a strange name has been calling and asking about you. So she was always aware of it.
I will just say this. When his mom would come down, and she started coming down quite often, like every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, it was getting ridiculous. It was like, yes, it was. There was a period of time where every 2 weeks she was down here, and I was like, okay, all right, like, this is too much. I stopped coming out my room. I'm just going to stay in my room till she go to bed. I ain't got that time to do. Yeah, I ain't got that to do. But so for you, new chapter, here's what I'm saying. Let me go back on your comments because I missed quite a few. No, it's okay. I just wanted to kind of convey the different, things that we need to cover about this, because this is a topic that many women and guys go through in relationships, especially when, you're moving into a deeper form of the connection and your family still ain't getting the point. Like, you're not getting the point. This is the one that's here. She here.
This is a better one. What if it's not a mom? What if it's
well, that's what she's saying. This is sister.
Okay. Let's
for example.
Let's not talk about family. What if it's a friend? A male best friend and you're a husband and it's a woman, or it's a female best friend, regardless. And they have more influence than you do.
The reality is, like I said, okay, I don't give a shit what the connection is. If you have decided that I'm the woman in your life and there are things that those people are doing that are bothering me, you need to fix it, period. You need to fix it. Because the thing about it, though, is it's important. Let me disclaimer this part, though. We're not talking about dumb little shit, though. We talking about shit that's causing you to be unhappy.
Now, a lot of dumb little shit can make you unhappy.
Okay, because I just mentioned your mom moving dishes and shit. Like, what the fuck is you moving the dishes for, goddammit?
You add that to this, and then you add this to that.
That's the thing. It was layered. That was the reason why, because it started layering up. It was little shit like, oh, she didn't wash my white clothes with some red shit. Now all my white clothes are pink. I can't go to work with that. Like, then it was moving all the dishes and all the shit, coming down every 2 fucking weeks, changing shit around. You know what I mean?
The thing, just like with you, you always say, sometimes I gotta think about it. And during that time, I was thinking like, all right, well, why is my wife saying this? And my mom's acting like it's nothing. I think it took for me to be thinking about it, and when it was like, hey, we about to do this daycare, so we, take care of this, and this. No, I don't want that. I'm like, what the fuck you mean? And that was a straw. So she is saying everything,
Well, what I was basically, I think what it was coming off for me was she's trying to control and orchestrate our lives from a whole nother state. That's what it felt like to me, and that's probably why the little shit was getting on my nerves, because it's like,
that's cool.
You're trying to control how we move about, live our lives, and things like that. That I have a problem with.
No, and you should. Now I want you to remember this: once Kyrie or Jabril, they get married, and maybe their wife is doing something different than what you would do.
I thought about that yesterday when Kyrie was on the phone kikiing with with his girlfriend, but I don't feel like I'm gonna be that. You know what I mean? Like, I had to realize, so with my mom recently, she was doing some stuff, she was saying some stuff, and I was just like, okay, mom, you're getting borderline. Like, you need to go on and pipe it down just a little bit, right? But there are things that your family can come in, say, and do that actually is something you need to see. They are there to show you and to speak about things that they recognize from the outside in, with their experience, with their age, with their knowledge, that you may not be cognizant of. No, she sent a text message to us all, talking about the kids and, their level of thrive and all this shit like that. And I was just like, okay, right? But as a mother, being that she's had different experiences with us and stuff like that, she might be seeing something that I'm not cognizant of.
Well, let me tell you something.
So in those cases,
I met your mom's kids. I met my mom's kids. I met a lot of people's kids. Our kids are better than all of them. So that's probably too where I'd be looking at like, mom, okay, you doing the most.
But
what we're adding to is not helpful. I get that.
Right.
They straight though.
They are straight, but because like if we're thinking about them
1%.
Being way better than what they are right now, like if there's a opportunity for them to be way better than they are.
I get that.
Maybe that's where she's coming from, right?
But that's also focusing on.
I'm sorry, we didn't turn this into our own shit. Baby, listen, this gonna work. No, don't go off. Come back, stay back, because we're gonna talk about this. Listen, baby, everything gonna work out, but you do need to express to your person what you are feeling. And I think that's gonna help you out, okay? Let me go back on your comments so I can catch up, because I know I missed a whole lot. We didn't got off into our own little shit there. I'm so sorry about that. So his sister purposefully interrupts when he is on the phone with me. Okay, got that. So I brought up it. So wait a minute, I brought it up to him, and he told her. So I look back at your comments. He needs to address it, not tell her. You know what I mean? He needs to be like, look, I'm talking to such and such. So let's just say y'all on the phone and she wants to interrupt. He'd be like, nah, I'm on the phone right now. It's that simple. It doesn't have to be a thing where he's telling her, oh, you're interrupting me and this and that, and she doesn't like that. No, he needs to set the tone for how.
A lot of times you make it comedic.
Oh, okay, let me go back. He needs to set the tone for how they are going to operate as it relates to you. That's what this is about. So if you on the phone with him and he on the phone with you and y'all vibing, y'all kicking it and shit like that, and he notices that she's always trying to come in, I'm talking to my girl right now. I'll get with that in a second. He needs to set the tone. That's what the man does. Like, he needs to do that. That's why I never even though I was annoyed as fuck, I never approached Gino's mom. And first off, because it's his mom, I'm not about to disrespect your mom, okay? Even though she's really doing the most by putting my white clothes with that is absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate the pink shirts that were white. Okay. But I never wanted to address her disrespectfully. So I always told Gino, listen, this is bothering me, or this is something that's kind of getting to me.
It did not take years.
Well, 2008 was when we actually moved to, so that's years.
Fair enough. I might have been saying something, but I think that was the last straw.
Yeah, and when she was saying stuff about, oh, I'm here, I'm his grandma, you're just here, that's when he was living with us. So that was years into it.
Before we had, you're right. To your trolls. The woman y'all talk about is my wife. Anything you say offensive, I take to heart.
I was really offended the other day with some of those comments.
Listen. I will say this. If you are so hateful, I hope you get the life you deserve. And as my wife said last night, it's probably going to be your girl or person you love choking on your best friend's dick. Because that's what you're kind of like.
You're putting out into the world, and I don't deserve that. Like, I may do some stupid shit in my life, but I'm not bad.
But you know what?
I don't deserve to be treated like that.
I've experienced that too, though. I've seen comments, and it's always not just from trolls. It's from people that's been around. Like, hold on now, like,
right.
And I understand you rock with who you rock. Even with Shaylee, you know how Shaylee got her blue thing?
How?
I gave it to her.
How did you give it to her?
Because when you admire, you give other people blue.
You can?
Yeah, because you was like, you giving Shaylee? I'm like, yeah.
That's why I was wondering, can you delete yourself as a moderator?
No, you can't delete, but you can't delete them once you add them, and you can't take yourself off. But you can add other people as mods. Because I added her because he had a whole bunch of trolls while we was having a video. And I knew she wasn't going to play that. But...
Oh, no, Shaylee got a lightsaber. She come up in this bitch and demolish and disintegrate everybody.
She's good.
She get rid of everybody, goddamn.
But the things you say about my wife, I could be mad as fuck about my wife. But every morning I wake up and I'm in love with her. So don't never, on my behalf, think by disrespecting her it's gonna be a cool or good thing. Like,
and same with me. I mean, we could be at the goddamn courthouse getting a divorce right now. But bet nobody about fuck with him or disrespect him. Period.
Well, that's I ain't about to lie none of this shit anyway.
Angelus Carter, hey Angelus Carter. So why is Gino popping off? Hey. God damn it. We were talking a new chapter, and new chapter, really what we've discovered is that things are going to work out. But like I said, it's going to take a little bit of you and your person really getting an understanding of how to operate with one another,
It may take some time.
It may take time, baby. It may take time. Okay, I'm not going to say it's going to be like tomorrow. I don't know, right? But it is your person's responsibility. If it's his family that the issue's coming from, he needs to correct that, period.
And if he cares about you like you care about him, believe that he will.
Right.
Even if it takes time.
Right. That's important. That's important.
That's the most important. Like, it might take some time because sometimes niggas is hard-headed.
Well, sometimes also niggas just not seeing what you seeing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, Gino would be at work and his mom be over here doing stupid, dumb shit. I'd be like, I'm going to my room. I ain't got time for this. Like, I would just be going to my room. Like, I ain't dealing with this. I got to a point where I was like, let her do whatever she wants to do. When she leaves, I'll fix it. You know what I mean? Like, when she leaves, I'll fix it again.
Hey, that's what got on my radar. I remember being at work, and I was like, hey, how you and mom's doing? Because I know that you had things that bothered you, and I think it's when you was like, I'm just staying in the room until you get home. And I was like, well, why the fuck does she got feel? That's what pop. It be the stupidest shit with some dudes. Like, damn. What the fuck she feel like that's your house. You don't have to stay in the room. What the fuck? So I'm starting to think about everything. So it might be the dumbest thing that you say, but be authentic to you about what you're experiencing, and it's gonna hit the motherfucker if he love you. It might take a while, but it'll hit him.
That's what we got. Someone, I'm walking in listening. It's the mom and the sister. Oh no, it's not a double. It's a team. It's a tag team situation. Oh no.
You know what?
Not a tag team,
You told her not to approach, because you never approach my mom, but I'm a very personal person.
It depends on the person, though, right? Because with me,
if it's your dad, your brother, I'm gonna be like, hey, I kind of noticed, like, y'all not, what's going on? What is it about me?
That may be true, but with me, I'm like, see, listen, there's certain situations that if I get annoyed enough, I'm liable to start throwing hands. So I gotta just. You know what I mean? Like, that's my moderation for myself. Like, oh no, this is getting on my nerves just enough that if you say the wrong thing, I'm popping you in the face. So let's just go on and just sit back.
Like that, but I'm also the type that I don't like subliminals. So
right?
I'm gonna make us face that.
Right. I had
so
to
we're not gonna do sneaky shit.
Right, but see, at that time, I still had to learn to adjust my language and the way I approach situations to get to that point. Now I'm saying what I'm gonna say, and you're gonna hear me. Like, but at that time, I was still in the space where I was still learning how to adjust my anger to the point where I can still be angry and speak without it turning into a physical fight. Because at that time, it was anything, nah, brother, I'm punching you in the face. Like, it's sitting, that's all. And I wasn't about to punch your mom in the face. So that's, I had to choose my battles at that time.
My mom is, she don't get that. None of that shit, because she's trying to fight me, and I'm like, are you serious?
I'm just saying, like, one time your mom was like, remember, this was like when the straw was drawn, and she was like, chicky. I was like, look, don't talk to me like that. Don't say that.
She said that to you.
I was like, I got a name. Your mom was at the point where it was really about to get into a fight. You know what I mean? She was like, oh, you want to go? I was like, listen, get out my face, because I don't want to have to go there with you. But it got to a point where it was about to get to some situation because your mom was just doing too absolute much.
My mom's,
and I was like, listen, you pushing it now. You pushing it now at this point. But that was towards the end of all of that.
You like the third girl in my life that my mom even has been around. And I'm pretty sure she felt that she was losing her baby, because I'm her baby. And because I treated you different from anybody I've ever been around. So maybe that was her dealing with, I'm losing power. And maybe that's her last dance. I don't
Look, that ain't got shit to do with me. No. You his mother, hunty. You are not his baby mama. You ain't about to be fucking like that. That's where I was like, this don't make no sense now. Come on. Let's just be adults about this now. This is not working out. So anyway, a new chapter that left. She like, I'm out of here. Y'all talk about y'all own shit now. Get the hell on.
Nah, but she left, and then she's not getting this wisdom. And we
right.
About for 20 years. That's why you're not winning right now.
Well, no. I didn't. Let me go back on the comments because I don't know if that's the case, but the numbers then went down. So thanks for the advice, guys. I'm at work and my break is over. Okay, so yeah, she had to go. She been gone.
So you are with it because you working and you took the advice.
Right.
And he was grateful.
I think that's a really good topic to have, though, because there's a lot of people that are going to deal with that, and a lot of people that do deal with that, especially with the mother and the new daughter-in-law. What is that makes a mother feel like she has to exert some sort of power, assert some sort of power upon her daughter-in-law or her to-be daughter-in-law? What is that about?
With a mother and a son, like that's usually the son's first love. That's the woman that teach you. You know what I mean? That's the woman. That's your everything. So when she loses that, especially if you don't got nobody, you know what I mean? I'm sure my mom, her love died. So it was about her sons. That's all she had. So maybe you're right. She was trying to show power, but that shit ain't work out like that at all. No, ma'am. My mom would tell me now, you don't seem happy. Come home. No. I will go to hell. Gasoline draws on. Take a shot.
Not go to hell. Wait a minute.
Take a shot of fire with the devil. No, it won't happen.
Is that trauma bonding?
No.
Why?
Because of the experiences.
What do you mean?
If I was to go back to Kansas City, that would be trauma bonding. That would be going back to all my trauma. And I want to be comfortable. So no, trauma bonding is not taking the hard road. That's not it. Stockholm syndrome is, these motherfuckers got me. I'm here. I can't get away. Well, let me enjoy this shit. That's trauma bonding.
But no, seriously. And I mean, why not make my life easier while I'm here at least until I get the hell out of here? You know what I mean? Let me go on and just chill.
I don't want to shit in this
You said I
bucket
want to
no more.
eat.
Yeah.
Period.
Let me go to the bathroom.
Right? Can I use an actual toilet and not this hole in the ground? What is this?
Who are we robbing? How much money they got? How much do I get? Let's go. Like, that's trauma bonded. Sometimes at some certain point it's a new word, but
I don't know. I feel like the relationship dynamics, they do also come from our child rearing as well. Because if you saw your parents living a certain way, dealing with certain things, you know, that may be what you relate to.
that's what you understand.
That's what you understand.
Especially, even more important in the toddler to young child ages, them teenage years.
Yeah.
That's where you see and understand.
And understand.
You can comprehend.
Yeah, see and understand.
And you can actually have an opinion.
Because our kids got hella opinions. They don't give a damn. I think both y'all need to chill the fuck out. That's my kids. I think both y'all need to chill the fuck out. Okay?
But I get mad at that. Like, you don't see what's going. Well, I see what you're doing right now. And
I see you, nigga.
You need to go
You
to
the
sleep.
one tripping. Go to fucking bed, nigga. Did you have too much to drink last night? Apparently that's what you dealing with. Is you got them drink too much, motherfucker.
We can talk about what got you to that point that you drank that much that you acting an ass right now.
I love my kids. My kids do not miss shit, boy. They be like, nigga,
You know
you
what?
tripping. Right now, you
Yeah,
old
so
motherfucking
you
ass
say
is
shit.
tripping. Hey, mom, you tripping. Yo, one time I was just straight tagging Gino, tagging him. The kids was like, Mom, you need to chill out. Like, Mom, it's you. Next day, Kyrie like, Mom. He had a whole talk with me, had a whole sit down with me. But
Which is
the
crazy.
thing is, it's so interesting because Gino doesn't never see that part, right? Well, when the kids sit down, well, my child had to sit down with me, and since then, I'm like, okay, I gotta get my shit together because my kids having to sit down with me, that don't make no sense. However, this nigga rubbed his face just now. Hey, listen, that don't mean that you are not. That is when I change, don't mean you gonna change. That's something we gotta talk about.
Nah.
Because if I make a change and you don't change, then the circumstance is still the same. So that's where we come back where it's like, can you really change in the same environment where you have been
you a certain way?
Right.
It's very different.
That part.
Because that's where a lot of my frustration come in from.
Yeah, but if you still exhibiting the same behaviors,
But I'm exhibiting.
like if I'm telling you, hey, this conversation is going to this place where I'm about to be mad or upset and I don't want to feel like that. I want to be able to communicate with you properly. And you be like, no, we gonna talk about this right now. You in my face, you following me back and forth to the house, outside, next door. You don't give a damn. Wherever I go, you going. Get the hell out my face.
But the thing is that you got to mention the 2 to 3 months of me not saying nothing.
Yeah, I don't got to mention that because I don't know nothing about that. You do. You got to mention that.
Would you say that I'm not maybe now, recently I'm more expressive, but more type shit I hold shit in?
I mean, that's potential for sure. But the reality is that healthy for you?
Mm-mm.
Is that healthy for me?
Mm-mm.
Then you need to fix that. That ain't nothing for me to fix. That's for you to fix.
I'm with you when you're right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Let's go
mostly
get-
right.
Right. wrong. I ain't with
I'm
you.
mostly right. What you talking
That's
about?
gonna be a song. I'm with you when you're right.
And I'm mostly right?
Wrong.
Like, no.
I'm not with you.
Oh, damn. That's fucked up. What a twist and turn of events. Goddamn.
It was going so good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next question.
There's no more questions right now, so we just chilling. Me and you just vibing, talking.
Angela's gone.
Angela's. I think Angela's left. Yeah.
She said,
To my why Gino popping off? Well, Angela's is actually a guy. We have to be clear about that because I'll be like, girl, all the time.
Angela's is actually he lives in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes, which is perfect because remember I told you about that
turning out
opportunity.
Straight man for some reason. I know Angela's.
Why are you going for Angela's Carter neck right now?
I'm speaking. You said when we speak facts, there ain't nothing wrong.
Yeah, but
with
it
that.
sounds like you going with Angela's Carter neck right
No.
now. Talking about he like to turn out straights.
Hey,
Is
dude.
that the truth?
Yeah. His last boyfriend and what he was talking about the other day was he ain't even came out yet. And this nigga be wearing fake designers and all kind of shit.
Oh wow. Angela's Carter, when you come back, baby, we got to talk about it because Gino done called you on Front Street, and I want you to.
No, don't do that.
I mean,
That's not
okay,
what
I'm not trying to
doing.
say that you know, whatever, but I'm just saying, like,
No, I'm
there's
just
something
saying,
going on here.
No, I know who the person is. How many people?
Just me and you.
Why do you think I'm on here?
Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Somebody who is it?
See, a troll guy comes in and all these motherfuckers leave. They had all kind of comments.
They do leave when you come in because like, oh no, because you call them on shit, and I'd be like, oh, you know, I don't see it. I don't. What? I'm not supposed to see the shit. What y'all talking about?
You right.
Like, if I'm being
Did you
honest
see
with you
my-
guys, when it comes to like being just me and a woman, like the problems I don't address. I mean, I do, but I don't.
Well, that's
Many problems, like especially if it's as it relates to like a man coming at me in an aggressive way. That's not my
That's why
problem.
you have a masculine. If you learn the judo, you can go to all that shit, learn MMA, but a true masculine is gonna clear out all that bullshit.
You gonna air the room out?
You can play with my wife if you want to.
I mean, the other day they were saying some really hurtful things to me, and I was feeling really sad.
You can go back.
I was feeling hurt. Like I was like, that hurts my feelings. Like, why would you say that to me? Like, I don't even deserve that. Like, I'm not even that type of woman. Like,
They all they know is what we talking about, and the fact that I'm not no trash ass man. A good ass man is like, nah, you are everything. That should say everything. Regardless of what you're doing, they have a right for their opinion. Be like, well, you probably shouldn't be doing this. And sometimes the truth do hurt. And I don't know what
yeah,
to
but
say.
it wasn't like that. It was more like you for the streets, you a hoe, you this and you that. That's not true.
Then they don't know me, so they don't know if I'm a good man or not. Yeah, fuck all that. And they gonna get what they deserve, one way or another. Karma is my brother. I am powerful.
Usually I don't care, you know. I think maybe
This is
because
the subject.
what we were talking about, you know what I'm saying? It was just kind of frustrating, or just it just kind of
Well,
it didn't feel very good at all.
I feel like a lot of times we have those conversations, you only hear one side also. And you have your best friend who's going to always agree with you. You have people in your comments that's always going to agree with you. But if you got to look at the whole collective, and these are trolls, so this don't really apply to that, because if they calling you a hoe, that's the whole wrong approach. They just trying to poke at you. But sometimes there's truth in what people say. You're not no hoe. You ain't never been no hoe. I wouldn't marry a hoe. I wouldn't chase a hoe. Ain't never been a 304.
Well, I ain't no hoe. I know I ain't no hoe. So
So
like
for the
that ain't the
streets and all
issue.
that
But
shit.
still, it's like, what the fuck? That's what you seeing?
Same nigga say bullshit about me, but you say that shit behind the fucking screen.
Yeah.
Call my wife a hoe in her face.
I don't think it would ever happen. That's the thing.
Me.
I don't think that would ever happen. That's the thing. That's the difference between a troll and a, you know. It would never happen that way. That's what we know. That's why the internet is it's undefeated. That's why the internet is undefeated.
Nah, it's defeated. Because when that power go off or you get knocked out, you ain't able to use fucking internet. So that is a defeat. What's undefeated is death. Time. You might be winning, and the internet might be undefeated, but you're
I'm
plugged
starting to challenge. My mind is being challenged with the concept of time lately.
It's just how you think about it. That's why I say a challenge. So yeah, no, time is what it is.
I don't know. I think I don't. I think the concept of time is one of those things that keeps us aging. Is one of those things that keeps us concerned and worried and stressed about what we have to do, reaching our purpose, doing this thing, doing that thing. You know, it keeps us in a constant state of like feeling rushed.
Oh, I get that.
You know?
Time is a personal thing. When I'm with you and little ones, I feel youthful.
So time doesn't exist during those times.
No. But then I talk to my oldest son, and he's talking about his 2 daughters. I'm like, God damn.
I'm old as fuck. Like, seriously.
But that could be a 5-minute period of where that happens, where I'm feeling youthful.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, damn, nah, this has happened. So time is all relevant to the person that's experiencing it.
I have been, as it relates to time, I have been looking at it and wondering whether or not we have been placed on the clock. You know what I mean? Like, is that a part of the colonization?
No. When you're born, you take your first breath, you clock in. When you take your last breath, you clock out. So you are on the clock. It's how
Do you
receive
really,
that
though?
time. Yeah.
How? Because listen, I'm going to say something. If before you were born, you were still a spirit, and you were already, I'm going to say that. You were already. And then you just came into a body. And then when you die,
You go back
you're
up
still
there,
a
wait.
spirit.
Yeah,
You still are.
Energy never
But you're just
dissipates.
not in the physical 3D realm.
I'm gonna tell you this. It took me. We did some shrooms one time. We was on the beach. And they had to be.
I have shrooms somewhere. Where are
It
they?
was like 5.
Let me go find my shrooms, guys.
It was like 4 or 5 years ago. And I said, right in this moment, I remember about to be born. And I was like, I need to remember everything that I remembered from last lifetime. And I didn't remember none of that shit.
Of course.
And then I remembered at that moment, like,
Life kind of beats it out of you, doesn't it? Life just like, you want to remember some shit, huh?
But you know what? I just watched something with Mike Tyson. He said, you know what? The victories ain't really taught me nothing.
It's the losses.
It's the losses.
Yeah, the lessons are
Because
in your failures.
If I'm not gonna get out in two minutes,
I've done that before.
Not gonna get out in 2 minutes.
I've done that before, right? Talking about the fighter, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's like, this is not the first time I've done that.
Yeah.
I've knocked things out before. I got the win. Okay.
Like, if we not bring
Y'all
up
seen
my
me get the win.
personal shit,
No!
Yes, you have put this.
I've got the win.
But you don't learn as much from the L's. And
From the wins. You don't learn as much.
yeah, you don't learn as much.
It's the
from
failures where you learn.
My whole life, like everything's a win.
And that's why failure is...
Fuel success.
Failure fuels success, but failures have been demonized. Like, when I was younger, I used to get in trouble for certain things, and my mom, took that as, oh, that's just who you are. To the point where in my adult life, she was like, this is who you are, because of some of the choices that I made as a child. But sometimes you're going to even when you make sometimes the same choice and it's wrong, and then eventually you can learn from that. But that's really just based upon you and your ability to learn.
20 years and shit. So we talk about time.
Time doesn't exist, does it?
This
Man, look at you. I agree. Yeah, with your statement. And I feel like, anyway, we're like, what mistakes we make and things that we go through, sometimes we are made to feel like it is like the worst possible thing you could ever do in life. And it's just like, bro, I'm just trying to learn. I'm just trying to grow up. I didn't know that was the wrongest thing in the world, like.
Sometimes in life, you're going to bump your head, like
You have to. You have to.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you won't learn some of those important things. We don't learn discernment. We don't learn truth or trust, or we're not aware if we have not had lessons.
The thing is, the first time you get up and try to walk and you walk a mile, the first time you fall 10 years later, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? I've been walking my whole life.
Well, hold on, because I've never got up and walked a mile.
No, I'm just saying.
You know, when you first start walking as a baby,
but that's what I'm
I
saying.
ain't never seen no baby just walk a mile. Like, that was
but as
a
baby,
whole new thing for me. Like, damn, was this Jesus?
But as a baby, if you did that, would you ever run? Because you had to fall. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was an extreme walking.
Jabril got up and he was trying to run when he started walking.
That
like,
nigga head was too big.
So he had to run to catch up with his head.
No, that was Kyrie. Don't leave for too much.
Hold on, son. Your head, you gotta balance that bitch now. That head is kind of big, goddammit. That head is kind of big, motherfucker.
We roasted our kids from birth.
Period. Jabril looked like an alien. Like that nigga looked like an alien. Yo, bro, but Jabril was the one kid that we had that when he got up and started walking, he was really running at the same time. So he literally started walking and trying to run at the same time.
You told me. We knew he was a boy. You said he got the same energy
that Sania has times
Sania.
10.
Yes.
Times 10.
You told me that.
And he definitely does.
But you knew with Kyrie, you was like, he's laid back like you.
Yeah.
It's funny, like
it's amazing when you are pregnant. You know your child.
A man
like you know your child from the moment of pregnancy. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I was like, oh, she's energetic, she's bouncy, like she's being, she's being energetic. She was. When I had my Kyrie, I was pregnant with Kyrie, and Kyrie was so chill, so laid back in my belly. And I knew sometimes I would have to push my belly to make sure he was alive. Like, is you alive in there?
But
so I would do that.
You knew when he was hungry.
Oh, I knew when he was hungry though, because I would be so hungry, like I'm gonna die if I don't eat. Like, somebody feed me right now, I'm gonna die. And then when he came out, he was a hungry baby. Like, literally, if you didn't feed this kid, he would scream in your face. Like, he would look at you dead in the eyes, connect first, and then scream. Like, you hear me? Hey, you looking at me right now? Ah! And he would do that. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this child?
But that's why we had the bonds we had.
So Kyrie was like that. And then when I was pregnant with Jabril, I was like, oh my God, this kid is so energetic. Like, he's got so much going on. I wouldn't have to do anything. With Sania and Kyrie, sometimes I would push on my belly because, I would just play with him or whatever. With Jabril was like always busy. He was...
Who was the one that when I would lay my hand on your stomach or put my hand on your stomach, they would like do an elbow or a knee right there? Like,
probably Sania, but it could have been Kyrie. Because Kyrie, let me tell you, Kyrie was so quiet in my belly that I would get scared. Like, oh my God, is he, like, I didn't want to have a stillborn baby. So I was like, oh my God, is he alive? Is he good? So I would push on my belly. And then he would, like, move a little bit. Like, he would be like, he would, like, stretch out or something, Yeah. He would do some shit like, what do you want? Like, why are you waking me up? But it's like so interesting because like as my children were in my belly, I understood who they were and their energy and their personalities while I was pregnant with them.
And I tell new parents all the time, it's like, you'll see exactly who you see at the very beginning. That's
who your kid is.
That's
who the fuck they is. They may grow and change slightly, but you are who you are. Like you are who you are.
Now you can add fucking extras like alcohol. Like, I'm a laid back ass dude, but you catch me in a bad mood or I'm going through some shit, I'm not really laid back. So. Well,
nobody laid back when they gotta sit up. Cause hold on, bitch, who you think you talking to like that? Like I feel like, what do I say about myself? Yeah, I feel like I'm easyggoing. No, maybe.
You go hard on niggas.
I go hard on niggas. I definitely do because it needs to happen. Like, y'all need some order in this bitch. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
And sometimes it be.
But I'm hard on myself though, so it's not really. When you say I go hard on niggas, I go hard on myself.
No, I'm not saying that.
I apply that to me.
You go hard on. You've always went hard on me.
But you're my man. Like, you represent who I am, and I go hard on myself. So what the fuck you think I'm gonna do with you?
That's cool. Do you see me complaining?
Yeah.
Dang,
you just did.
Now let's be pointing out something for the masses to be able to pick up on.
You said that's what?
It looks like you might have been. Oh, remember we did this?
Okay.
I ain't caking wild.
Caking ass niggas. Yo, my son was on the phone the other day. He on the phone with this girl. He said, I gotta call this girl. He talked to the boy. I said, what girl? He said, I gotta call this girl. So he called this girl. He on the phone. He go out in the back patio and shit like that, trying to chop it up with her and shit.
Hey, hold on.
He chopping it up. He straight chopping it up with her, whatever. She laughing. He laughing. You know, he got that little I like you giggle and shit like that. Like this nigga's out there giggling, straight giggling. I'm like, what's going on? I ain't saying nothing the whole time. I just let him move around because he acted like he didn't want me to know who he was talking to. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna be cool and be in the background, whatever. He go in the room. He in there laughing, giggling, you know what I mean? Playing video game. Like, you gotta do it like this. She laughing, they giggling. He got her on speakerphone and shit so I can kind of hear low key. It's kind of funny. It's cute, you know? I remember that shit.
I said, hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. The best relationships is when you start off as friends. Like, he's like, oh, because you know that person. I'm like, yeah. So it's not, you know who that is. Y'all can laugh just on some regular shit. He was like, that's right, you and Mom met in the chat room, didn't you? I said, yeah, we did. And I was like, they don't even have that chat room no more.
Nah, no more. That motherfucker lasted probably about...
the time we talked.
Right. Yeah,
shit,
2 days after we was done, it was done. It was meant to happen like that. It was a beta. I don't know if it was a beta or what. What was it?
Look at God. That's the universe. It was made for that moment. For us to have these kids. And I was like... I always talk to my boys about the woman. There's gonna be one woman in your life. Some say it's 3. If you have the right one the first time, it won't be 3.
It's not a need for 3 if you have the right one the first time, but who knows?
But you'll know.
But you do grow and change in life, though. You know, like even from the time when you're like 16, 17, 18, to the time that you're like 28, to the time that you're like 35. To the time that you're 40, how many changes have you had in those time frames?
I was one.
Okay, I think you're moving slowly.
Yes. Let me say let me correct that. Let me say 2. I had my mind made up at a certain age of who I was gonna be, and then I met somebody, and I was like, oh fuck this. This is not what I want to do. I'm gonna change my life. And I rolled that out. And maybe I got comfortable and put myself in a box. But when I seen that shit wasn't working out, I was like...
What are you talking about? What are you referring to?
I don't want her to know who I'm referring to. What do you mean? You talking about changes in my life. I was like, the first one I knew early exactly who I was going to be. I was going to be that nigga you ain't going to fuck with. And then I was like, I met somebody and I was like, I don't want to be this person. I want to be a good dude. And then I seen that wasn't working out, and I was like, "Fuck that! What do I gotta do to fix it?" So
you don't want to be a square bear no more.
I don't be what?
You don't want to be a square bear no more.
A star bear.
A square bear.
Yeah, right.
Oh my goodness. We started talking about trauma bonding. I don't know where we are now. It doesn't matter. I'll be back. Hold on a second. Let me take a little break, okay? Take a break, okay? Go get some popcorn or something. I'll be right back, okay?
I'll tell you like this. I always been innovative. I always been Henry Ford. I always been Nikola Tesla. Trendsetter.
I'm the trendsetter. You just let me set the trend.
I did it before, I bet you. But yeah, you are. I know, it's a struggle, baby. I'm trying. Oh, I'm trying. I like this about confidence. I have no confidence in this.
Alright.
Jesus Christ.
Am I going to do a daycare franchise?
Yep. Timeless.
Perfect. All right, break's over.
Funny Marco, this is what was he saying?
What do you want to read about? What do you want me to read about? Who is it? Hakeem the Dream? What do you want to read about?
Baby, make me a moderator, because this shit. Why are you talking to my wife like that, dude? Y'all be sitting there taking your last breath wondering why you got unalived and shit. Not realizing all the shit that you just said. And it won't lead back to me because this is what y'all do.
I can't wait to go on our cruise. Remember they were playing like nice music, like Jamaican music?
Yeah, that cruise is everything.
And the walk.
All the walks. That was the start of my journey. Everybody was like, you gained weight when you go on a cruise. Like, nigga, you did. I lost 25 pounds.
Hell yeah, all the walking you got to do just to get to food. You ain't got time. From
Right
I'm just saying. The walk you got to do to get to food enough.
It's almost like hunting, nigga. You out.
Look, you got to get out here and get it. What you talking about? Like the walk we got from our room to our kitchen is very close. You know, the walk we got from the room, from the suite to the food, man. Then you gotta pick the food. You gotta choose the food you want to eat. You know, and then find a seat. You know, it's a lot of work that goes into that process.
You brought up earlier about times we took trips. We talked about the Hilton.
Yeah,
But with the Godfrey, it's one time I remember. It's for our anniversary, I think, and we took the kids.
And they had their own room. They were facing the. Remember, he was like, "Y'all got the parking lot view." They was mad at the motherfucker.
But they wasn't.
They really wasn't. But
I remember we got that pizza. It was a margarita pizza. You love that pizza, and I just remember sitting there.
Oh, that pizza is the best margarita pizza there is. It's so good.
I remember seeing dolphins.
We slept with the door open, and in the morning we woke up by the birds.
The birds were sitting on the balcony chirping and shit, woke us up. It was like a fucking fairy tale. You got your index is the size of my pinky.
I need my nails done.